Hi readers, this is Lisa Rodriguez from Battle of the Books Quiz Center here. I'm using a filter. I love this filter. I didn't need to put on makeup and I have no wrinkles. It's crazy. I don't use filters very often. And so when I do, I announce it. But anyway, so today I want to talk about two books that I just recently finished. They are both selected books for the 25-26 Oregon Battle of the Books. And they both demonstrate a magic ability that I believe books have. And that ability is to give readers a real idea about how it feels to be somebody else. It's a wonderful human trait is empathy. And when a book is written really well, the reader gets that empathy because they are put into the situation of the character in the book and get lost in it, and so they feel that they are that character. Uh-oh. Please remember that all my videos have spoilers, or they at least have the potential to have spoilers, because my videos are about really understanding and knowing the books, being prepared for classroom assessments, Battle of the Books battles, reading bowls, literature circles. They're not just reviews of a book. They actually include details all the way maybe till the end. So please always be forewarned that my videos have spoilers. So, and often it's a character that they could never be in real life. So in my case, I am neither an African American or a boy or a person living in the 1940s. But this book, Finding Langston, it's an elementary level book. It's a beautiful book. And it's about a boy who his mother dies. And he and his father were living with her and all their extended family in Alabama. But I think it's just too painful for the father to stay living in Alabama where they were, because that's where he was, with the love of his life. And so they moved to Chicago for him to, get work and stuff. And so not only did they move to a different state, but it was like they went from very rural countryside to the city, to an apartment. And so they're both dealing with the death of the boy's name is Langston, and so him and his father, they're both dealing with the death of his mother. So Langston doesn't know, and his father doesn't even know, that he was named by his mother after the poet Langston Hughes. So in this book, he eventually discovers this through letters, and also he discovers the author, the poet Langston Hughes, in the library in Chicago. And what he discovers is that he shares a lot of the same feelings as Langston Hughes. And so this is really cool to me. And that is that I gained empathy for this boy, Langston, by reading the book. He gained empathy by reading the author, the poet Langston Hughes, because he totally could relate to what he was reading. And I think it helped him feel less alone. He did not like living in the city. He loved living in the rural Alabama in the South with his friends living, far but walking distance, not right sharing a wall with other people. The sound of the cicadas and crickets and things. He loved it, and he doesn't really like living in the city. And there's, of course, some bullies in the school that bug him because they keep calling him country boy and stuff like that. Anyway, one of the poems by Langston Hughes that he reads goes, Folks, I come up north because they told me the north was fine. I come up north because they told me the north was fine. Been up here 6 months. I'm about to lose my mind. So that is how the poet Langston Hughes felt when he wrote it, I suppose, but it's definitely how the boy feels living in Chicago. So I think it makes him feel less alone. Another beautiful poem is called Red Clay Blues. I want to tramp in the red mud, Lord, and feel the red clay round my toes. I want to wade in that red mud, feel that red clay sucking at my toes. I want my little farm back, and I don't care where the landlord goes. That's how the kid's feeling too. So the book is beautiful, and I love the poetry. The boy himself is very poetic at heart, and his dad's nice. I mean, he loves him, but they don't really relate very well because his dad's like more of a manual labor, and a man is a man, and chopping wood and that kind of thing, and he doesn't really understand a boy that prefers reading. But they do bond in this book, and the boy learns to embrace the change that he basically had to deal with. And the author, Langston Hughes, helped him do that. The other book that I recently finished, just yesterday, I finished reading the book The Eyes and the Impossible by Dave Eggers. Here's what the cover looks like. I read it on my Kindle, so there's what it looks like. And there's several beautiful paintings in the book. It's not what I would call a picture book at all. But there are, how many? Nine paintings in the book by famous painters. And it says the paintings in this book are classical landscapes by artists that have died a long time ago. And then another person added the main character into each of these paintings. The main character being this half dog, half coyote. That right there is a spoiler, because you don't find out in the book until the end that this dog is half coyote. His friends, the bison, tell him finally at the end for a particular reason, that because he's going away and with his friend Bertrand, who's a seagull, and so they decide that he needs to know that he is part coyote. But anyway, as I said, empathy. I'm not a dog. I'm not half dog, half coyote. But this book was really cool because usually when I think of a dog or a book written about a dog with the main character, I expect the dialogue to be like bull, squirrel, and it wasn't. Somehow this dog coyote has really amazing vocabulary. Don't know where he learned it from, probably from the bison. But for example, as we walked, I thought and planned. My mind was in a swirly state, though. I have swum in the gray ocean and more than twice was tossed in the cruelty of a crashing wave, rolling. And then, rolling in the white, the shushing, the close to oblivion. My mind was like that now. Now, where does a dog learn the word oblivion, right? But it's beautiful, and it makes it interesting to read. And the dog is very human-like, and so are the other animals in the story. Without it, seems silly. It doesn't seem silly at all. And there's a great, exciting escape plan in this book where the dog Johannes makes a plan to help the bison escape from the pen that they're in this big park. I think the park is Central Park because the whole thing is described as being on an island and it's a huge park. So that's my thought. So I really do think that empathy is a very important thing in our world. Understanding how other people, animals feel, trying to understand each other better, which I think would lead to getting along better. It's like there's a saying, I may be misquoting it, but it's something like, if you really want to understand what someone is going through, you must walk a mile in their moccasins. You actually have to live as much as you can their life and put yourself in their situation. And sometimes, like I said, that's impossible. You can't be a dog, or you can't be a different race than you are, or a different, like somebody from another planet, but you can imagine it as much as possible to try to understand someone else's point of view. So that is my talk today on books and their ability to sprinkle the magical dust of empathy and understanding on the people that are willing to read with open minds. This filter makes me feel so beautiful. I must ask myself out on a date. Lisa, would you like to go out tonight? No, I'm sorry. I need to go babysit my grandchildren now. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoy it, and then you will be in the know when I add new videos. I'm really trying to do it like at least once a week, once every 2 weeks. And like if you like, and leave comments, please. And remember, check my website, bobqc.net. And you can email me also, lisa@bobqc.net, with ideas, questions, requests for books that you would like me to make a quiz on, anything you want. Okay, take care. Bye.